I will be teaching about the topic otalgia. This topic is from the first unit and it is for BSc third year's class. So let us see the definition of otalgia. Otalgia or a different name is called earache or ear pain. Okay, so otalgia is also known as ear pain or pain in the ears or ache in the ears. So, otalgia is of two types, primary and referred otalgia. So, primary otalgia is ear pain that originates in the ear. So, if there's any problem in the ears or any deformity in the ears, or if there's any infection in the ears, okay, so like I've taught you the disease conditions of the ears. So, if there's any problem in the ears, then that will lead to ear pain, and this is called primary otalgia. Now, if there's any pain in the ears because of any problem outside the ears, okay, so referred otalgia is ear pain that originates from outside the ears. Okay, because of some other reasons other than problems from the ear, okay, because of that reason, patient is having ear pain. Okay, for example, patient is having sore throat or cold, okay, or laryngitis or pharyngitis. So because of that infection, because of the disease condition, patient will be having ear pain. Okay, so that is called referred otalgia. Again, referred meaning somewhere from outside other than the ears. So otalgia is not always associated with ear disease. Okay, so like I said that because of any other problem other than the ears, okay, because of that patient will have ear pain. So that is called referred ear pain. It may be caused by several other conditions such as impacted teeth. Okay, so if there's any dental problems like cavity or any root extraction or any other infection in the teeth, that can cause ear pain, or because of sinus diseases, sinusitis, inflamed tonsils, tonsillitis, okay, or any infection in the nose or pharynx, pharyngitis, any cancer in the throat, and occasionally as a sensory aura that precedes a migraine. So, because of migraine also, patient will be having ear pain. Okay, so these all are under the second type of otalgia, which is called referred otalgia. So coming to the risk factors, okay, so if any insertion of unclean or sharp articles into the ear, that can be one of the risk factors for ear pain. Then installation of contaminated solutions, swimming in polluted water, recent upper respiratory tract infection. It can be sinusitis or laryngitis, pharyngitis, okay, or tonsillitis, or any of these, or rhinitis, common cold. So because of any of these infections, patient will be having ear pain. Next, eustachian tube dysfunction. Any dysfunction or abnormality in the eustachian tube, then it can cause ear pain, and presence of allergies. Now coming to the causes, okay, so like I said, there are two types of otalgia, primary and referred. Okay, so let us see first what are the causes of primary otalgia. Okay, so here we have classified into two. One is the pinna and one is the external auditory canal. Okay, so in pinna, these problems are as follows: laceration and bite, hematoma in the pinna, otitis externa, which is infection of the outer ear canal. Okay, then perichondritis, which is inflammation of connective tissue which surrounds the cartilage. Okay, so if there's any inflammation in the connective tissues which surrounds the cartilage, then that is called perichondritis. Okay, so that is also one of the cause for primary otalgia. Next, infected preauricular sinus, then frostbite, sunburn, or neoplasm, which is abnormal growth anywhere in the external canal, then these causes ear pain, and this is the causes of primary otalgia or primary ear pain. Next, in the external auditory canal, so these problems like impacted because of too much of accumulation of the ear wax, okay, or the cerumen. So because of that also patient will have pain in the ears. Next, any presence of foreign body or keratosis obturans, which is the presence of a dense keratin in the ears. Okay, so when the keratin is accumulated too much in the ears, then that causes keratosis obturans. Because of this, patient will have ear pain. Next, otitis externa. So, like I said, any infection of the outer ear canal that can cause primary otalgia. Exostosis. Exostosis is abnormal bone growth. Any abnormal bone growth in the ear, apart from the three bones, the normal three bones, that is the malleus, incus, and stapes. Apart from these three bones, if there's any abnormal bone growth in the ears, then it is called exostosis. So because of this abnormal bone growth, patient will be having ear pain. And the last is neoplasm, or any abnormal growth in the ears. Now coming to the second is causes of referred otalgia. Okay, so like I said, that patient may have upper respiratory infection like laryngitis, pharyngitis, tonsillitis, or sinusitis, or sore throat, okay, rhinitis. So because of these causes or because of these infection, patient will have pain in the ears, and that is called referred otalgia. So let us see some of the causes of referred otalgia. Okay, so if these nerves are affected, then it causes ear pain. So these are the nerves, okay, C2, C3, then cranial nerve number 5, cranial nerve number 7, cranial nerve number 9, and cranial nerve number 10. So if these cranial nerves are affected, then patient will have referred otalgia. Okay, so let us see the disease condition. Okay, so first is the sinus. Okay, sinus pathology, like patient will have sinusitis, then they will have referred otalgia. Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, trigeminal neuralgia, and other neuralgias. Okay, then cervical arthritis, larynx or thyroid lesions, then musculoskeletal pain, oral cavity or tonsil lesion, then dental pathology, if there's any tooth cavity or if there's any extraction of the tooth or any other dental procedures, then it can cause pain. Next, infratemporal fossa lesions. Then TMJ is temporomandibular joint. Okay, so if there's any deformity in the joint between the temporal and the mandibular bone, then it can cause otalgia. Then Eagle syndrome and intracranial lesions. Okay, so these are some of the causes, okay, of referred otalgia. So there are many causes of ear pain, okay, other than problems in the ears. So there are many other infections which can cause ear pain, like sinus infection, sinusitis, or because of any allergies, sore throat, dental problems, rhinitis, laryngitis, pharyngitis, any upper respiratory tract infection can cause ear pain. So coming to the diagnostic test, okay, so for primary otalgia, we will inspect the ears, okay, otoscopy by using an otoscope, palpation for the tenderness. We will perform an oral examination with a teleutoscope and a microscope, and tympanometry will be performed. Next, for referred otalgia, we will have a physical examination, okay, by having the cranial nerve examination, especially cranial nerve number 5, number 7, number 9, and number 10. Then palpation of cervical lymphatic chain to check if there's any cervical pain or if there's any lesions or any lymph nodes. Next, assessment of cervical spine mobility and tenderness. Then palpation of the temporal mandibular joint and the pterygoid muscles to check if there's any presence of any stiffness in the joints or stiffness in the mandibles. Next, we have to exclude lockjaw, which is called as trismus. Dental inspection, we have to perform a dental tooth examination, okay, for checking any dental cavity or if there's any malocclusion of the tooth or any absence of dentition. Then direct and fibery optic examination of the oropharynx and the laryngopharynx. So you have to see if there's any inflammation in these areas like the oropharynx, the laryngopharynx. Okay, so we can use by performing a direct and fiber optic examination. Then palpation of the oropharynx to see if there's any induration trigger zone or styloid bone. Okay, so we will check for any lesions, for any abnormality in the growth, or to check if there's any neoplasm or any abnormal growth in the cells, okay, around the regions of the oropharynx. Okay, so these are all diagnostic tests for referred otalgia. Okay, so it has been classified into two: primary otalgia and referred otalgia. Now coming to the management, because of the main sign and symptom here is pain in the ears. Okay, so to manage it, okay, so if there's any infection, then you will give antibiotic to the patient. Okay, if there's any infection in the ears, otitis media, then you will give antibiotics. You will perform ear irrigation. Then to reduce the pain, you will give analgesics. You will restore the normal function and remove the foreign bodies. Next, surgical management. So these are some of the surgical managements for otalgia: laryngoplasty, closure of simple perforation of tympanic membrane. If there's any tympanic membrane perforation, okay, so like I told you that if there's any hole or perforation in the tympanic membrane or eardrum, then we will perform laryngoplasty by closing it by performing sutures. Tympanoplasty to correct the perforated tympanic membrane also. Then osculoplasty for ossicular reconstruction. Laryngotomy, an incision to the tympanic membrane through which the fluid is removed if there's any abscess collection in the tympanic membrane. And mastoidectomy, which is removal of the mastoid bone. So these are some of the surgical management. Now coming to the precautions after ear surgery. A patient must lie with the operated ear up for several hours after surgery. So patient has to sleep in the opposite direction to the affected ears to prevent any complication. Next, if necessary, the client or the patient should blow the nose gently one side at a time. So we have to tell the patient not to forcibly blow their nose, okay, or else they can have there can be injury to the tiny blood vessels in the ear, in the nose. Next, the patient should sneeze or cough with the mouth open for 1 week after surgery. This is done why to prevent any ear complications. Next, participation in water sports or activities is prohibited. So you should tell the patient to avoid swimming for some time, and you should tell them to avoid any other activities. Avoid physical activity for 1 week and exercise or sports for 3 weeks after surgery. So provide complete rest to the patient. Try to avoid exercise or physical activity. Avoid heavy lifting. Change the cotton ball in the ears daily. So maintain ear hygiene. Keep the ear dry for 4 to 6 weeks. Do not shampoo for 1 week. Avoid airplane flights for the first week after the surgery so as to avoid the noise pollution. Then for sensation of ear pressure, hold your nose, close your mouth and swallow to equalize the pressure. This is for to sense the ear pressure, to sense the pressure inside the ear. Okay, how will we do it? By holding your nose, okay, pinch your nose, close your mouth and swallow to equalize the pressure. Then wear noise defenders in loud environments. We can wear those ear cuffs, okay, so as to avoid any noise pollution. Inform if there's any bleeding from the ears, okay, or if there's any other complications. So these were the precautions after the surgical management of the ears. Okay, so that was about otalgia. It is a very simple topic. Okay, and another name for otalgia is ear pain or earache. And there are two types. One is primary otalgia and second is referred otalgia. So thank you class for listening to the lecture today. I hope you have understood about the topic. So thank you.